Hi guys, welcome to ZIBAKERIZ, and in this video I'll be sharing with you how to create these piped buttercream florals on cupcakes. We're going to start off with the Wilton 1M tip to create our first cupcake, which is a rosette. So we're going to start off by adding some pressure in the center of the cupcake, going counterclockwise, and then we're going to release. So this is a super simple cupcake design and it's most commonly created as well. The second one is going to be hydrangeas, so we're just going to add pressure on the top of the cupcake and then release and repeat the same design all on the cupcake, and just keep filling in any of the empty gaps until you're happy with how the cupcake looks. Super simple and super easy. So for our last cupcake design using the same tip, we're going to be creating 3 mini rosettes. So we're going to follow the same technique by creating a small rosette and then another rosette that's overlapping the first rosette, and then the third rosette that's overlapping both of the rosettes. Now using a Wilton tip number 366, we're going to be creating leaves on our cupcakes. So over here I've already have a piping bag that I've already colored light green with Chef Master's gel food coloring. And for the leaf, you kind of want to create this back and forth wiggle motion to create that leaf design. So I added 2 for the first rosette cupcake, and then for this one I'm going to fill in the gaps using the same tip to create the leaves. So you kind of add the pressure back and forth to create that leaf design. Now that I've showed you how to create 3 beautiful rosette cupcakes using Wilton 1M tip, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create another style of flowers, and this is a chrysanthemum, which I'm going to be using a Wilton tip number 81 to create the petals for this flower. So basically you just want to add some pressure on the cupcake and then lift upwards, and you can also use the edge of the cupcake liner to help you kind of lift your buttercream upwards when you're creating these petals. But once you start getting the hang of the petal design, you pretty much just have to keep repeating the same process over and over again. And I also suggest making sure that the buttercream consistency is a little bit more stiff to help you ensure that your cupcakes are lifted upwards. And I also added some buttercream to the center of my cupcakes, and this was to ensure that as I got closer to the center of my cupcake, I was able to lift and bring the petals in closer, creating a more realistic style to the chrysanthemum. And keep creating these petals until you've reached the center of your cupcake. So I'm going to be creating this style of chrysanthemum again, just so you guys could have a close-up on how I create this type of particular buttercream flower. So as I showed before, you kind of just want to use the cupcake liner as a guide to help lift the edge or the first row of your petals. And you're going to keep doing this all around the side of the cupcake. And also I do want to mention again that you do want to make sure that your buttercream consistency is a little bit more firm compared to other types of rosette or cupcakes that you do create, because you want to make sure that your petals are lifted, and if the buttercream consistency is a little bit loose, then your petals won't stay standing upwards and they'll start to lose their shape as well. So I highly suggest making sure that the consistency of your buttercream is a little bit more firm as well. So you can see I repeated the same technique all around the cupcake, just like I did for the first one. Now I'm going to be sharing with you how to create a rosette. So I'm going to be using Wilton tip number 104, and we're going to be adding some buttercream to the center of our cupcake, and this is basically going to bring height to our cupcake. And we're creating a bud in the center, and this is what's going to allow us to create our petals around it. So you want to make sure that this thin side of your piping tip is actually facing upwards while the thicker side is facing down. So when we're overlapping our petals, you just want to make sure that you kind of overlap halfway of the previous petal. And when you're in the center of the cupcake, you want to make sure that the petals are facing more towards the center. And as you get farther away from the cupcake, you want the petals to start opening just like a real rosette. And obviously, the more petals you add, the more realistic the rosette will start to look as well. Also, I did create this beautiful purple shade using Chef Master's gel food coloring, and it's a slightly darker shade compared to the previous cupcakes that I had made. Also, when you are creating these rosettes, you want to make sure that the buttercream consistency is also firm. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, your petals will not be able to hold their shape and they will start to flatten out and lose their shape. So once you're happy with the rosette, your buttercream flower is complete. So I'm going to just show a fast clip of this again, and I want to mention that the amount of buttercream you add to the center of the cupcake will determine how high your rose will actually be. So the more higher the bud, the higher the rosette will be. So for this cupcake, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create that 3 mini rosette cupcake again, which I demonstrated before earlier in this video as well. Also, if you guys are finding this tutorial helpful, please do like this video and comment down below if you guys would like to see more of these cupcake decorating tutorials as well. And if you guys aren't already subscribed to my channels, please do so you get notified each time I do upload a new video. So back to the video, I am going to create the hydrangeas again, which is one of the most simple and easy cupcake styles, and you can also do this with 2 tones and it creates an even more realistic effect as well. So you could have added some white in this purple and it would be a very beautiful cupcake as well. And for my last cupcake, I decided to do another chrysanthemum, and I forgot to mention earlier that I did add some Wilton white gel food coloring to my American buttercream, and what that does, it basically just gets rid of the yellow tint in your buttercream and ensures that you have a more whiter tone. Also, as you can see, I keep rotating my cupcake, but you can also just use a cookie turntable to help you create, make it easier for you to create your rose or your flower as well. And there you have it. I shared with you how to create 5 different types of buttercream flowers and how to pipe them on your cupcakes. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you get notified each time I create a new cake decorating tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.